Hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of Every Other Saturday. So this episode will cover some of the players that were away on international duty up to last night. So I was going to film and get everything sorted and put out one last night. Two things happened. So basically I recorded some stuff and went to edit it this morning and there was no sound. No idea why, so hopefully this one works. And last night I was starting to look through and I seen that we had Alfredo Morelos and we had Zungu playing last night. So I thought to myself, why waste a video on two players when I can try and maybe squeeze them into this one? So that's what I did. And it seemed to be a decent result for Boigani Zungu anyway. He came on and had an absolute blinder, but unfortunately Alfredo Morelos had to deal with a 3-0 loss. So let's dive into the players that were away. So first of all, we had Jack and McLaughlin. They were both away with Scotland, as you can imagine. And Jack played the entirety of the game. I didn't actually catch the game myself. As you probably listened to the last video, I'm not really all that interested in watching those games. I'm not really all that interested in watching international games in general. I mean, when the competitions are on, I probably will watch them. Yes, something to do. But again, it's not really for me. But Jack played the entirety of the game, and McLaughlin unfortunately warmed the bench. But as you can probably tell if you did watch the game, the hero's duty did fall to was it David Marshall? As you can tell, with celebrations he went a bit, a bit daft, and he enjoyed himself having to get that big hand to the penalty to put them through. So as it is the first in a long time, 22 years. So well done to you, Scotland. Well done. I am Scottish. I am not removing myself from being Scottish, but well done, Scotland. Fantastic news. I'm over the moon for these, and it seems that a lot of Rangers fans that I do know did have an overwhelming time. A few of them you could see on Facebook and Twitter maybe were doing everything they could not to break social distancing guidelines and go out and have a party, I think. But fair play to everybody that stayed in and celebrated the way they should have. But yeah, fantastic, well done. So moving on to Borna Barisic, he was an unused sub, but we do have a slight issue that's happened with the Croatian team. So his teammate, I think it's Vida, has tested positive for the coronavirus. And again, hope everything goes well there. We don't want him to get into any severe health problems. So hopefully a swift return to his football. But Barisic, obviously being involved with that, we're getting the concern that he may not be able to just come back and start playing football with Rangers. So is he going to have to self-isolate? Are we going to possibly lose Barisic? It looks like all the rules were followed by the Croatian national team, and Vida was removed as quick as he possibly could be, so that he was isolated from the team and the team seem okay. Now, as far as I'm led to believe, now please feel free to drop a comment and let me know if I'm wrong here, but as far as I'm led to believe, with all the rules being followed, the team that have been out and played and were on the bench and things like that were tested again, and they have came back as negative. But just for the way things are, specifically in Scotland and Scottish football, media driven as it can be, will it be possible that he comes back and enough uproar's made that Barisic has to isolate? Will he actually still have to isolate anyway? I'm not 100% sure. What are your comments on this? My issue that I have now is with these games that are being played. Now, as I've said, I'm not all that interested in international football, but these games have to be played. So you have your qualifiers like Scotland were in, you have your South African Cup of Nations and all that kind of stuff, if that's even what it's called. And competition games like Euros, World Cup, all that, I understand those games being played, specifically at this time with the coronavirus and travelling from place to place. Even when it comes to club football, I understand those international games like your Europa League, your Champions League, those games being played. But international friendlies, are we really classing that as an important thing? Should these games be being played and putting those players that, yes, they might need time to bed together and things like that for the upcoming competitions, but should we be playing international friendlies really to put these players at risk, ultimately putting their club at risk? And I'm not just talking about Rangers in general, this could have happened to any club. It's one of those things, I'm not even on the fence with it anymore. I'm fully with international friendlies. No, we're kind of playing with fire here. We're trying to do things that we don't really need to be doing in these kind of testing times. So Yeah, international friendlies, let's just leave them to the wayside. Drop a comment in the section below. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, right, anything at all. I just don't think international friendlies are the way forward these days. I mean, let the competition still be played, but friendlies are just pointless. With that being said, we do have Borna Barisic possibly needing to take the 3 games off, possibly, but we do have Calvin Bassey. He is there, he's ready to go. He's had a good couple of games so far. What's your opinion? I quite like him. He seems to be ready to kind of give his all. He seems to play for the jersey, which I do like to see. Young guy with a bit of drive and spunk and desire going about him, which you can't go wrong. So let me know, drop a comment about Bassey in the bottom. Let me know if you think he's going to be good enough to step in if and or he needs to for Barisic being off, or even if for the love of God we get a Barisic injury. But yeah, let me know. We also have 3 players that playing for the national team coming off the bench, and Glenn Kamara, Alfredo Morelos, nearly forgot his name there, and Bongani Zungu. Glenn Kamara, typical performance from him. I seen literally 3 seconds, I think, and it was just wee bits I seen on the telly of Glenn Kamara being on the pitch. I never managed to find the highlights for it, so I couldn't actually watch. By all means, it looks as if it's just a typical Glenn Kamara performance. Heart and soul and desire on the pitch, just as you can expect from him. He's just a class B player. Alfredo Morelos, unfortunately, coming off again. Last 20 minutes he gets, but it was a 3-0 defeat for Colombia, so I can imagine he'd been a wee bit downhearted. But if you take a look on his social medias with Alfredo Morelos, he does love everything it means to play for Colombia. You can see it really means a lot to him, so I like to see him getting those minutes for Colombia. So well in, Alfredo. And we had Bongani Zungu. I did see his goal, which was fantastic to see him get an international goal, but I also seen the clips on his passes. Wow, bring those passes back to Ibrox, my man, please, because that's fantastic to see. That midfield area has become nice and stacked for Rangers now. There is so many people vying for those positions, and it is amazing when you look at that and you can see what a possible bench could be for a Rangers game and the starting 11. It's fantastic. The midfield is just one of our strongest areas, so I can't wait to see who starts fighting for those positions. So Bongani Zungu, again, one of those players, didn't have a clue who he was. I'm an avid Football Manager player and I haven't even came across him on that, and it's just brilliant to see a player like that coming to Ibrox with such vision on the ball. What a passer, what an absolute brilliant passer he is. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him on the ball. Last but by no means least, we'll come to Stephen Davis, playing for Northern Ireland, losing 2-1 to Slovakia. Captain's armband obviously for Stephen. Sad to see, very sad to see. I don't like to see any Rangers player downhearted, especially in the international games when they're trying their hardest to get through. A wee honourable mention as well to the man Kyle Lafferty. As you can see, anything you've seen on social media as well, he had a hard time of it the last few days, losing the game and obviously losing his sister also as well. Not nice to hear at all, and my heart goes out to him, and I'd like to say that I'm sorry for your loss, Kyle. I highly doubt you'll see this, but it's nice to say that. I did also see some nasty stuff on social media leading back to the famous Lee Griffiths. I would like to hope that what I've seen and read is not true and he didn't do anything out of badness. I would love to hope that, but the man is controversial, and I don't think many parts of my side of Glasgow anyway would certainly like to admit that they think that he's not exactly doing it out of badness. Now, I'm not going to start pointing fingers and saying, oh, you definitely did this, but you've deleted your social media after that. It's not coming across as if you're a very innocent bystander. But as I say, heart goes out to Kyle Lafferty. Fair play to you, big man. So just a wee quick recap before I go. Channel doing great again. Thanks very much again for all your views, likes and subscribes and stuff like that. Get straight onto this comment section below. Any information that you want to see, any kind of types of content you're looking to see on here. Again, with the international break, it's difficult to think when you've not done this before, like myself. It's difficult to think exactly what people are looking for. I'm trying my hardest to dive into YouTube and stuff like that and see what people have done on international breaks. But again, coming from you guys is the best way. So on the Facebook, on Twitter, yep, Twitter's live now. I don't know if you've seen it on the Facebook page, but I've linked you all over to the new Twitter page. Thank you, Dylan Sargent, for letting me know how to put that up. Was never really a Twitter user before, but on there now, starting to interact with a few more different people, and it's great. So hopefully that kind of ticks over a wee bit better as well, bringing some more faces into the channel. As I say, loving this, great to get another video out. Any more information that you want to see here, or as Scott McFarlane told me to get rid of the old hat there, so if you can think anybody else that's any information that you're looking for, just let me know. Thanks again guys, this has been Every Other Saturday. Cheers.